There will be a quarterback competition at the University of Auburn for the first time since 2019. Welcome to the Voice of College Football as we break down the game we all love each and every day with you. Best discussion, debate, and analysis. Please like the video to help us grow the channel. That's what YouTube likes. Subscribe to the Voice of College Football SEC as well. Zach Calzada. He's been in the transfer portal. He's made his decision. So is Auburn. So it's Calzada from the rival Texas A&M Aggies to the Auburn Tigers. We'll talk about Calzada in just a minute. Here's the breakdown of Brian Harsin's options this spring. So in addition to Calzada, of course, TJ Finley, who started on the stretch in replacing the injured Bo Nix, who was hobbled with the ankle. And, of course, Bo's off to Oregon. Demetrius Davis, the redshirt freshman. And then we've got Holden Gariner, the 2022 signee who's already on campus and ready to go, an early enrollee for Auburn. So he's going to be able to take part in winter workouts and get that valuable time in spring camp. Zach Calzada can make all the throws. He's got an NFL arm in regards to strength of arm, can make all the throws around the field. The touch, the trajectory, the arm talent and skill, not yet developed. He's not necessarily a running quarterback. He's not a statue either. He can break the pocket and make some plays to a certain extent, but again, don't count on those kind of plays like Bo Nix made, not even close to that. Brian Harsin was very complimentary of Calzada before the two teams played in October, I believe, the beginning of November. Also, keep in mind that Calzada was in a quarterback competition under Jimbo Fisher last year. He lost the job. Haynes King won it. It was very close, went down to the wire, as was reported. Haynes King won the job, started the first couple games, and then he was injured against Colorado. Zach Calzada stepped in and finished out the season as the Aggies went 8-4. What's the impression of Calzada's work there at Texas A&M? Well, a lot of people remember the Alabama game. He pulled through in that one, 285 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Played really well against the Tide. Of course, that was Texas A&M's landmark win of the season. Other than that, look at the starts and the wins. Starting with Colorado, he came into that game early in the game. Texas A&M barely won against a bad Buffs team, 10-7. He went 18 of 38. And then you can check off all the Power 5 opponents, the rest of them in the SEC after that. Arkansas, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, South Carolina, Missouri, all those teams that Texas A&M played. Calzada completed about 50% of his passes and barely 200 yards in any of those games. Not a great effort, 56% passer. 2,100 yards, 17 touchdowns, 9 picks for Calzada. But again, really good experience having to go through the SEC Western Division. This year, we heard what Brian Harsin had to say. Could spin the ball, great size. He's about the size of TJ Finley. They're almost exact in size, and he can make all the throws around the field. We spoke a number of times in our Texas A&M analysis with Andrew Hattersley from Gig'em 247 Sports about Zach Calzada,
who nearly got to it, but I might have been Anaya Smith as well. The throw that went like 70 yards from like the 35 for A&M all the way down to basically the end zone on the run. His arm talent is just pretty impressive. And that throw he made and just to touch on it, he kind of got enough air under it and left enough for Anaya Smith to get in. And yeah, he just looked like a more confident quarterback. And, especially in the first half, the way he came out was decisive and got A&M off to a great start. He just looked in a great rhythm. And, we've obviously talked the last couple of weeks about his struggles. And so I think he deserves a lot of credit because he had taken a lot of criticism. And to come deliver a performance like that, I think earned a lot of respect from A&M fans. Zach Calzada's stat line might not look the prettiest. 15 of 29 for 192 yards. I think drops significantly hurt A&M this afternoon. Jalen Weidemeyer had been playing really, really well over the past couple of weeks. He had a couple key drops, and that just stalled out drives. And you even look at A&M was able to overcome some penalty issues, especially A&M really had a chance to take control of this game late in the third quarter. Had a couple false start penalties and then had a hold as well, but only four penalties for 30 yards. But really kind of hurt them down in the key areas, and they did not do well enough in the red zone. Those are probably the couple areas that. And A&M was terrible. Both teams were terrible on third down. A&M was 3 of 13.